Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. Alessandra's already here. Hello, Alessandra. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you were able to make it. I hope you're feeling better. It's been a busy streaming weekend, team. I've seen lots of streams this weekend. I'm catching up. Are you going to play with us, Monjo, or are you just going to sit there? You're on bed. Uh-oh, one of my things still is talking to me. YouTube is talking to me. There we go. I tried to turn all of those off, but there's a couple. I turned them all on so I can watch the comments. Some of them are sometimes auto mute, some are not. All right, let's make sure the Graham can see. All right, no, we're not going to animate this today. All right, has everybody had a good weekend? Oh my goodness, everybody's here. Ashrafal and Marceo editions. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We are on our next stained glass for the year. Come here, Mojo. I know, buddy. Okay, good boy. Settle. Sorry, he's been a sucky pup all day today, so we'll see how this goes. He's really tired. All right, so we are on our next stained glass piece. Alessandra says, I'm doing a bit better. Still have a lingering cough that won't go away. I hear that that's what's going around, and I'm trying to avoid it if I can. Knock on wood. Got a busy weekend ahead, so I can't get sick. But hopefully that's better soon. I hear that that's the case around here right now, which is no good. So hopefully on the mend soon. Okay. Oh, Joshua's here too. Hi, Joshua. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody's so busy on Behance tonight. I love it. So yeah, we're working on our next stained glass. We started this last week. I've worked on it a little bit since. We'll see how this goes. Weather changing, yes, that's definitely a huge impact to how everybody's feeling this time of year. So we're going to see how this goes. I've been asking a lot of my Fresco and iPad this weekend. I finished, exciting news, I finished the coloring books this weekend. I submitted them to be printed this morning. So those are getting ready to be printed. For those of you who haven't been on the stream, last year I made my own coloring book. It's right here. And I have a new one for this year, which has this illustration in it. It's got a little bit more complex illustrations in it than compared to last year. This one's got a lot of really great drawings in it, but they're kind of they're for everybody. But I think I went a little bit more complex this year. So if you want to check out my site, it should be on all of my profiles, but I'll put it here and see. Oh, that's not it. Hang on. So I put the coloring books into print this morning, and we're going to have a few of them on hand. I took a guess at the number, so we'll see. But we will do this and put them here. And if you have an interest in taking a look, if you're on Instagram, Facebook, Behance, if you go to my main profile, I'll be able to find the link. But I was working on this all weekend, and my Apple Pencil yesterday morning started really glitching on me. We did a few restarts and figured things out, and we were able to finish on time, which was great. But I've been asking a lot, so that's why I say we'll see how today goes. If today was enough of a break for it to be playing the game with us today here a little bit. So this is our next stained glass piece. And as you know, as you can see, I'm keeping it simple and keeping it relaxed. So I added, since last week, you can see there's a little bit more detail on our lionfish. And I created some of that overlapping that we were talking about before, just to make sure that there's a little bit more of movement compared to what was happening before. So we have all of that in place now. And then I want to look back on these circles that I had, because I just wonder if that makes things a little too crazy. Because in the stained glass pieces that I've been doing, I've been putting these kind of circles in the backgrounds to kind of help with the layering effect of the stained glass effect and everything. But I'm wondering if it's too much. What if I try another layer. And then we'll get going, because I think I'm also handling this a little differently in that I'm not going to be doing all of the lines that I have been doing in the past, like of breaking it down, because I think that the sections that these critters have naturally kind of do that for me without me overcomplicating the piece. But we'll see here. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm gonna move these around a little bit. I just want to kind of get this laid out a little bit. I don't want it to look too squishy either. Oh, don't do that. I'm gonna do this. What's happening? Come on, you. My Apple Pencil's not playing the game. It's tired. It's like, leave me alone. Oh, what is happening here? Oh, I know what happened. There we go. Can you just leave the neighbors be, buddy? Mojo. Leave them alone, okay, please? Thank you. Now I'll do this, and I'm just doing the transform tool here so I don't have to keep redrawing these circles. I'm just going to want to play around with where they're sitting on the page right now. Just leave the neighbors be, bud. Okay, please? You've been quiet all day, buddy. Let's go, boy. Alrighty. You know what, let's just wait and see on this, because I think this is a pretty busy illustration to begin with that I don't really want to muddy it up. I think we have enough overlap on a lot of things here that I don't think we need to worry about overcomplicating things. I'm just going to group all these layers together. And we're going to get started on some color. All right, so I'm going to go to my patterns here. This one first. Okay. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so patterns in place, create an empty mask, invert that mask, and then we'll get going here. Okay, yes. So let's start with a little bit bigger, I think. Actually, what I want to do, can I? To merge things. Hang on. I want to try something I saw at Max. I watched Max last week and it was pretty crazy. I saw lots of fun things. There wasn't a huge amount for fresco this year. That's okay because they went crazy last year. Okay, so what I just want to do here, I want to try this because we've seen me do this in the past, but this is just kind of a different way of doing it. And I'm hoping it works really nicely. But I don't want to lose too much information just yet because I'm not super confident that we're done with the line art just yet. So let's select multiple, and I want to, okay, select the line art for the main line art, and I want to duplicate layers, and I want to merge those layers, and I want this to set as reference. Okay, so you've seen me do this in the past. I just want to see if this will, oh, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Work on this. Oh, it doesn't work on masks. Nuts. Okay, so what this was going to be was you've seen me use that kind of reference illustration in the past. So let's just do a new layer so I can show you what's happening. So I've done this. So I set that liner as reference, and what should happen here is I'll change this to a different color and I'll show you what happened there. So all I did was the fill, and because the line art was set as a reference layer, it's considering all of my line art, which is super fun. But the one that was new at Fresco was like painting between the lines. Oh, I know how it happened. I know how to do it. This one, paint inside using reference layer. So instead of just using the fill, and then now because I pointed inside this circle or this little space here, I can just paint in this shape, and it's considering. So for those of you who can't see, I'm going crazy with my pen here, but it's keeping all my stuff within the lines, which is super cool. And it's actually working pretty well. There's a bit of that hazy edge, but you can fix that with the with different settings in here. There's different adjustments you can make, but it's not going to work today because it doesn't really work on masks just yet, which would be super awesome. And that's a suggestion I made. So it's not going to help us today, but we'll just add some color anyway. So I'm just going to delete this layer. No, not select multiple, just delete that layer. And we'll go back to our mask over here. Hello, Odari. Did not get a notification, so I jumped on Behance to see for myself. Oh man, this notification business is, I'm glad it's not just me. But thank you so much for tuning in and checking. Yeah, it's been weird. I know Adobe's been pretty busy right now, so, but hopefully someone says something because we want to be sure we're not missing everybody's streams. Yikes. These darn apps, I tell ya. Okay, so anyway, that was a cool thing I saw at Max. There, like I said, there wasn't a huge number of things that was new for Fresco. They do that kind of snap to circle tool that you saw me using. We've used that a little bit before. There's one cool one that I'm going to start using, and I have to look at it about like managing pixel brushes and stuff. I think this is the one. Is there a, oh dear, oh dear, now I'm gonna make a mess. There was a way to save your brushes. So I like to save the brushes that you're using in an illustration, which is gonna be perfect for me. I talk about that all the time about how I want to just kind of do all of one thing, so I don't have to remember what brush I was using. There is a way to save it. I was gonna try it before I got on today to show you guys because it's perfect for what we do here on the live stream. But I ran out of time doing other things on the weekend, getting the coloring books out and everything. So that is a very cool feature. So once I figure that out, I will let you know and show you guys, because I think that would be perfect for the stuff I'm doing around here. Don't get notified on the Behance app, just the Creative Cloud app. Yeah, and it's weird because I got almost all the notifications this weekend and I wasn't getting them before. So I don't know, I wonder if there's an update coming out or something. But yeah, I do find I'm more and more seemingly an unreliable human because I'm just getting no notifications about things, or only notifications about not exciting things. Just like so-and-so commented on somebody else's post. Please come onto Facebook and don't abandon us. Not that it's not interesting what other people are posting. It's just, I can tell what you're trying to do, Facebook. Okay, back to this. Yeah, so Max. So yeah, I watched Max last week. I still have a lot to catch up on because I was working during the week as well. So I was kind of doing double duty. But there's some really interesting things. A lot of things I really want to try out. And a lot of things I want to try out. They have a lot of AI stuff around that I want to do some more digging into. and learning about. Lots happening. So I was really excited to see a lot of the stuff. There's still so much more I want to watch and see. But it was a really good week. I find like I get creative like overload when I watch a lot of those sessions, especially just kind of like seeing other people work on their work or how their processes work or how they got where they're going and stuff. There's not as much of that now as there was in the pandemic, and I'm putting that in my feedback just because there's a lot of it in the pandemic and it was so great. But still was some, and lots of really good talks. A lot of people sharing their process, how they use the new tools, all that kind of fun stuff. So it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and it makes it like I enjoy all the work that I'm currently doing, but it also makes me just want to like start all over and try again and start all new styles and everything else, just because like I said, I get really creatively full at Max, which is so great. Hope to stream soon. I haven't been feeling well. First it was vertigo and stupid allergy, and now colds. Oh my gosh, that's a lot in a back to back. And vertigo is no joke. I'm lucky enough to have not experienced it in long periods, but I do have a few friends who have, and they would 0 stars not recommend it. So hopefully that's passed for you, because that does not sound like any fun at all. So yeah, no, Max is pretty good. I still have a lot to catch up on. Kind of want to work from home all week this week so I can continue catching up on it. But we'll do that this week. It's so fun. I'd love to go one year. The energy looks great, and like the crowd looked a lot better this year just because things were still a little iffy last year. So like I think like there's still big crowds and stuff, but I think this year was kind of a bigger energy situation. So I'm excited to talk to my coworkers who did go and get all the scoop on what they learned and saw and all that kind of fun stuff. Oh, so many lines I can't see. When I was drawing this yesterday and kind of figuring out some of the lines, I knew a lot of this was going to full on come together when I started coloring it, especially this area with these like lionfish lines and the turtle lines. I think I was going to go blind for a minute. So I was like, I know the color will help this a lot. So I'm pretty solid on wanting to have good line art, but I think this one's really color heavy, reliant on that for sure. Negative 0 stars for vertigo for sure. And yeah, I watched some of Max, still gotta watch the replays. Yeah, me too. I like to participate in some of them, like the sessions live, because you can comment and kind of get answers, because a lot of them are filmed ahead of time and like the actual presenter is there mediating or can answer some questions, or someone is there to answer the questions. And so I enjoy that part of things. I don't know if I want those to be a different color. Okay, we'll just keep going here. But yeah, no, luckily all the replays are there and I can sit and watch them while I work. All right. So I had all this like creative like boost from the stuff from Max, and then I went into a local art store that I'd never been in before, and it kind of was like Ollivander's from Harry Potter, but for art supplies. Oh my gosh, it's this tiny little place, but it's jam-packed full of delicious new art supplies. I came out with just the one thing I went in there for, but it was a rough go. It was, I almost broke my use what you have rule in a big way. I want to support local, but I also need to use what I have. So yeah, it's a very nice art store. So hopefully it'll hang around, because I found it because the one I usually go to closed apparently a whole year ago. See what happens when I stop going into stores and buying things? They close. I'm kidding. It wasn't just me. But yeah, so many art supplies in there. It's beautiful. Oh gosh, that was an attempt. Oh my goodness gracious. It's been really good. So I'm really excited to have that's me when I go to Blick stores. What is a Blick store? I'm not sure what that is. So I'm excited to have the coloring books out. I don't like to rush these things, but it's a really good feeling to have all those things out and ready to print. So now it'll just be kind of packaging, promoting, and shipping in the next little while, which is good. So I'm excited to kind of give this some attention. If you follow me on the socials, you will notice that the dragon is not finished yet. He was on my list for this weekend as well, but that was just not the case. So I'm gonna, after this live, work on him a little bit and give him some attention. But yeah, we've definitely overloaded Fresco a little bit here. So I'll get to that as well. But now that those are done and off my plate, not like it's sounding like they were a chore or anything, it's nice to get them onto the next steps so I can a little more guilt-free focus on these kinds of things, which is super great. It's an art store that has art materials made in Europe, Asia, and it's pricey. I only go there once a year. That sounds like a really good idea, to only go once a year. Okay, I think I may not have to Google those because I don't want to know if there's one near me. That sounds amazing because there's a lot of fantastic art supplies in that part of the universe, and it would be deadly. Yeah, that would have to be my like one splurge. Hey, Moach. Leave the neighbors alone, please, okay? They're just going into their house. They're fine. Yeah, it's like they have, for like my knitting side of my creativity, there's a lot of right now, like, well, they're all throughout the year, mostly in the summer, but right now in my area, there's quite a few festivals and stuff happening, mostly to help people prep to go to for Christmas knitting and all that kind of stuff. And they're happening right now. I went to one a few weeks ago. I had to bail on the one this weekend because I knew I was gonna splurge, and I didn't feel I had enough room to splurge, and I know there's a couple other ones coming up. So yeah, definitely just pace yourself. Otherwise it just gets out of control, and then I get frustrated because I have too many things I have to use, and I only have 24 hours in a day. Hey, Moch, do you want to come here with me? Come here, handsome boy. Sucky guy today. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's good to have that rule, Alessandra. Just go once a year. And then it's like you kind of appreciate it a little bit more when you like are like, I use all my art supplies, here's a few that I'm replenishing, but like I can stock up because I've been using what I have all year kind of thing. It's a nice like little reward. And yeah, if you're going every day, we still have to pay rent and stuff, so we gotta be careful. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we're doing the fun part in coloring today. I like putting the color in because it starts to pull it all together for sure. This one I don't have as clear of a vision going in as I did for like the Kraken and the Dragon. So I'm very excited to see how this guy comes together. We'll all discover it together. Because I'm kind of hoping that even in this like stained glass approach that we're going to have some movement in the like it'll look like it's kind of flowing and stuff still, so that's kind of the effect. So like with the dragon, I really want to focus on that glow effect and that kind of heat kind of coming out of him. That's why I'm also taking my time, because I don't want to rush that. And then this, I want that kind of flowy thing with the stained glass. So even though it's kind of the same style in each of these illustrations, I have a different kind of goal with each one. Obviously not holding myself too hard to it. If the illustration doesn't want to be that, then I don't want to force it. But if it's like this way, I'm kind of getting a different goal and still learning from the style while using the a similar, like still using the same style, but I'm pushing it a little bit further to see what I can do with it, whether the line art or the color speaks to it. Sorry, I'm still here working on Spooktober Day 16. Okay, so what's Spooktober's word for Day 16? I think I'm just not doing Inktober this year, guys. I was going to do some writing every day, and I had some really good prompts and a couple good ideas, so I may do like a couple, but we are well into halfway through the day, halfway through the month. I'm not going to get caught up. The coloring books and everything, the shirts and all that kind of stuff, all that kind of took over this year. So this year is not the year of Inktober for me, but next year, we can do next year. I'm at the point of the year where some stressors just need to go, and I don't want to hate Inktober. I want to enjoy it. But I'm enjoying watching everybody else do their Spooktobers, Inktobers, whatever tobers. For knitters, there's Socktober. I don't even think I'm... Oh, I've got a couple socks on the needles. Always got a sock, let's be serious. You leaving that for Rolani, bud? I know how to draw shapes. There we go. Good Lord, what a mess. Aw, no way. No! It's using the reference lines. What? This didn't do this before. What? Oh, man. Oh, well, this changes everything. This definitely was not using these before. You watched it not happen. Okay, all right, so save that. We're gonna get a lot more color done tonight than I thought. So that, like the reference stuff I was showing you with that red layer, it just started working. So I don't know if I wasn't using it. If I wasn't using it or whatever, if I wasn't using it right, I don't know, but it's working now, so let's not scare it away. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm getting it done, forcing myself to do it. You know, and I think that like there's something to be said for, you know, like having that be the challenge and getting that through for the month, because that's what kickstarted all my studio stuff, was kind of getting back into Inktober. Well, kickstarted like me getting back into the studio was all that Inktober stuff, as well as like the lineup with Max that year. So there's something to be said for kind of powering through. And I do like a challenge. Like I did a 100-day challenge last year, and it was 100 days of doing something traditional, so not digital. And so I was in the studio for 100 days, and it felt really good. Like it got me back into my sketchbook a little bit more, and it was super great. So there's definitely something said to be for pushing it there, but I was gonna push myself to a burnout, so I wanted to enjoy it a little bit, which is great. So what's the that looks great, thank you, Odari. What's the word for Spooktober today? Because I do like to see what everybody's coming up with and the ideas, because I feel like for a lot of the prompts, I always have, I always think I have like the most obvious idea, which sometimes like some people will be like, the prompt will be mouse and they'll literally just draw a mouse, but it'll be like a phenomenal mouse. So I'm always like wicked impressed with those ones. Oh, pickles. We have a broken line somewhere. Okay, so what we'll do, I need to look at, okay, nephew, where's my reference? Oh, it's not on here. Nincompoop. Okay, I'm trying to think of. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing here for this fishy. Oh, it's like the creepiest photo. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not going to do it either. I got too much going on. Yeah, it just happened. September, October got like crazy busy for me. I don't really know what happened. So yeah, I'm just not going to push myself so I can enjoy November and December. Be chill, my favorite seasons. You got this, Adari. Yes, you got this. Power through, sir. Let us live through you. Okay, so we're going to do something else for the turtle. We are going to fill this space with the white. What I was looking for a second ago was just my photo reference that I used. I know I took a screenshot, but I think it's probably on my phone instead of on my iPad because I did it when I was at Open Studio. So I just wanted to remember where the light bits were and where the dark ones were. These are like the worst photos. They're so scary. The lionfish has like really cool potential for like all these designs and things. It's like a scary looking fish though. If you photograph it right. Whew! That's scary business. Excuse me. Oh. Yay for reference layers. Okay, I'm glad I didn't fully submit my reference layers for masks suggestion yet because it's working, which is fabulous. Now I wonder if I should hide layer. We're gonna make the no, I didn't draw it in a way that will work. Okay, so maybe what we'll do, I'm taking these out because I'm thinking rather than having so much of one pattern, I think I'm going to put a slightly darker one for the body here. Oh, no. So that there's a bit of contrast. It's work, but it's fun. It keeps me on my toes as far as drawing traditionally. And at the same time, I'm working on Moonstone. Woohoo! Writing it is included. Oh my goodness, what a busy time. Yeah, it's working on multiple projects at once is great. I like to have many hobbies because like I've talked about this many times, so I won't go into it too much, but just like you're not feeling it, or if you're not feeling one hobby, you can always move on to the next hobby. I have like 3 really big hobbies, like I've got lots of little ones, but like I'm a reader, I'm a knitter, and I'm a artist, an illustrator. Usually 2 are running at any time and 1 suffering. Right now, 3 are pretty strong, but usually there's 2 that are taking over at any time. But yeah, it's good to be busy, but just watch for the burnout. Be careful. So for those of you who are just tuning in, Odar is writing this Moonstone project, and if you haven't seen the streams where he was drawing the characters, go back and find those because those were awesome. I missed a couple that I have to go back to, but we're collaborating on some of the posters. We're going to do that, excuse me, in the new year. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be super fun. We started a little bit, but then we're donkey busy. So we're just going to come back to that in a little bit. Okay. So I really like that. Oh, I know why the turtle filled in. Okay. Okay, so see how they're kind of look the same, but there's a little bit of contrast. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that a lot. I know why the turtle is not filling in, because the hierarchy lines are not part of my reference set. And if you turn those off, you'll find there's a whole bunch of broken lines all over the place. So what we'll do is we will Draw some lines. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. I want this to be in behind this, I think. And I'm just going to fill in these spaces, and hopefully that will be enough that we can Will it be enough? Oh no, it's not enough. Nuts. There's broken line somewhere. That'll be really hard to find. So what I'm gonna do, the tiger fish looks awesome. Thank you. He's looking pretty cool. He's got some attitude, which I like. I think I like all of these designs. I never really thought about drawing a turtle, to be honest, too often, as it being a kind of a more rigid kind of creature. But whoa, everything shut down there for a second. The turtle shell has a lot of opportunity, like visual opportunity, that I think is going to really help us here, which is super great. All right, let's see if we can't fix some of this mess that we have made. Because I think like the jellyfish has really wicked opportunities visually. And that one's going to be tough because I'm going to want to do like light colors without it getting too muddy. So I have to be really careful with how I do the turtle and the lionfish as well, because I don't want them it to be all too washed out. Just like with the dragon, I wanted to make sure it wasn't all red. I had to balance it out, which I think I ended up being able to do. Oh, what a mess I'm making here. But yeah, so I don't want it to be too washed out. But the jellyfish and the lionfish have so much beautiful design potential that I think the shell of the turtle will really balance that out nicely. Now, oh, you mini, this one, nope, nuts. Okay, if I can't find the gap in this, we'll have to do something else. Oh, I didn't want that covered. Oh my goodness gracious. No, I want this to be different. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna undo all this because I wasn't thinking ahead. I don't want the turtle body to be that color. I want just the shell to be this color. So I'm just going to figure this out after, and we're going to keep moving with the fish here. Dragonflies, turtles, and octopus are my top favorite animals. They're pretty good. Like that. The kraken, like the octopus as a creature, freaks me right out. But the design potential cannot be denied. Whew, beautiful. No, not that one, you silly. No, not that one. Oh, goodness. Yeah, the iPad needs a timeout. I've been pushing too hard. But Dragonfly's got some good potential situations happening there, too. I like a good design element. Okay, so I think we can go really I don't know if that's too dramatic. You know what? I think we might be okay. Balancing out the light jellyfish. I think we can go pretty dark red here. Actually, I want to have some of that in there as well. So let's do this. Mask. Here we go. Invert mask. Where is this drawing going? Like, is it a coloring book? So the line art for this is going to be in the 2023 coloring book for this year that I sent off to print this morning. So yes, you can purchase the line art. Where this final piece of art is going to go, behance for now, and we'll see how it goes. This is actually, I'm drawing it at an 18 by 24, like I did with the dragon and the kraken as well. So there's lots of it's pretty big. So I may print it out. So I don't have a current out plan with this run right now, but the liner is going to be in the coloring book. And see how fun it is to color. Look how fun it is to color. Yeah, it's I was on this I was on Behance. Oh, and Dan, like DTM, he had a coloring book page that he put up on his work in progress, and I didn't know it was a coloring book page. It was just a liner, and I was like, this is amazing. It looks so good. And he said what he does is he'll do his coloring book pages, but then he'll like color them on his stream. So I think that's really fun. And like, well, that's kind of what I'm doing here. But like, it'd be kind of fun to like get one of my coloring books out and just like actually color it and be like, hey guys, we're coloring this page. Color with me today. I think it would be so fun. So I may do that next year. I contemplated doing it tonight just because it had been such a busy week of illustrating. I thought, well, maybe no iPad for right now, but I really wanted to work on this guy here. So I didn't do it today, but that'd be super fun. Especially like as a lot of the coloring book pages in this book this year are like this. There's a lot more kind of intricate coloring and stuff because that was, some people asked if there was, like if it was a kid's coloring book or an adult coloring book. And I see what they're saying, but like everybody can color any coloring book, but I think this would be this one's got a little bit more intricate designs that I think would be a lot of fun for a wider audience for sure. Again, I'm going to use 2 tones on this guy. So I'm going to do, so yeah, maybe in future streams, maybe like my palette cleanser in between stained glass pieces or like big pieces. I don't know if I'm doing stained glass next year. I don't know what my theme will be next year yet. But like kind of my palette cleanser in between bigger pieces could just be coloring. That's a fun activity I miss doing. I don't do as often as I would like. Oops. There we go. So not a dramatic difference between these 2 reds, but I think like just a lighter orange kind of makes the fins and everything a little less kind of intimidating. Because usually like a lionfish is a pretty like orange critter, and we're going pretty dramatic with this red here. So I think once we get into shading and things, we can maybe do that contrast a little bit, but I like how that's playing out. Oh no. Hide. There we go. There's an extra piece in there somewhere. Okay. So we'll save this. Oh, we're already slowing Fresco down. Okay, so we're gonna have to be careful. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is try and see if I can do, oops, reveal. Oh, pickles. If I just trying to think of where I want some of these colors. Because I really want to keep the jellyfish nice and light. I don't want it to go too crazy, but I think having this at the top is okay. It'll balance out some of it, frame it a little bit. Got some of that magic glitter that's on that paper. Fun times. Magical jellyfish. Sorry, I'm zooming in a lot here, guys. Don't look too closely at the screen, especially Alessandra. I don't want to give you more vertigo. I try not to zoom in and out too much, but with this kind of part, it's hard not to. I want to make sure I'm covering all my bases, so I will be more cautious. Oh, come on, you. Why is it full shape? How is that happening? What the? But it's full. Okay. I'll fill it in ourselves then. I'll fill the space all by my lonesome. Hey. No, don't do that. What is it trying to do? Not time to erase. We're doing a mask, you silly. Hate when that happens. Yeah, and I just found out recently. If I try again, I don't know why it's doing it. It doesn't. I don't know how I did that time because it switches. What happened when the screen went dark there is my fresco switched to the eraser, which is not how this functions. Like if you look over on the left, sorry, the eraser is grayed out. So I'm not really sure how it does that. But I did find out, and it's weird that I'm finding out shortcuts now because I'm a big shortcuts person and I normally would find this out immediately. But if you're using the Apple Pencil and you double tap on a normal thing, so if I'll just go to a normal layer for a sec, you double tap. Oh, it's not going to do it now. Here we go. Draw. And you switch and it goes to the eraser and you double tap and it goes back to your brush. So awesome. It's a very late reaction on my part. Hi, Veronica. Thank you for tuning into the stream. All right, where's my jellyfish brains there? There we go. I just want to clean this up. Oops. Okay. Now, I don't want to use much more of that. I want to use what is this one. And I want to reveal the layer. Okay, come on. Oh, duh. There we go. Fresco doesn't just know what I want to do, obviously. So redonkulous. Okay, then I know that these are here. It's interesting you ask where the illustration is going to go, Alessandra, just because it came up in a few Max sessions as well, being like, you know, you're doing this, but why are you making these things? And it's interesting because I'm just, because I work all day, I'm like, I make this because I want to make the thing. But when you're going up with like the why or what it will be in the end, it's a surprisingly tough question to answer. I just want to art and do these magical things. But yeah, it's hard to, like, some people go out and they're like, definitely want to do, like, I definitely want to do cards at some point for sure. But, you know, these guys, I'm like, I just would like to draw this thing. So, and I think that's okay too. A lot of us just like, you know, you need to clear your brain a little bit and do your own art and relax and all that kind of fun stuff. But, like even these illustrations, like I think a few lives ago anyway, I showed the Kraken sweater I had test printed, and I said to the person who is, because I have someone else doing my Hues and Tone shirts, and I asked her, I'm like, this was not designed to be a shirt. I just made this poster size so that it was nice and big and there was a lot of detail, letting me really dig into it. But I don't know if that's going to transfer nicely. So we're working together to find files that will work because I think it makes for a really cool sweater. But yeah, some illustrations come in with a purpose and some don't, and that's okay. And I'm rambling a little tiny bit. It's been a very busy day. And oh my gosh, it's already 10 to 8. Oh my goodness gracious. So do I want this one here, or is that too dark? It's almost too dark, eh? So let's do maybe this one. Really want to be careful. And then maybe this one for these spaces. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. This one. So I can put a little bit of dark in there to get some balance. I know it's the same pattern touching up against the head there of the jellyfish. It's probably not its head, but you know what I mean. But I think the shadows will separate that for us, so I'm not going to get too worked up about that. And then I know those are like that. Oh, I missed this. Okay. What other patterns do we have here? I probably put some text in here. Let's do that. Empty mask, invert mask. Okay. Now, if I do this, oh, I'll be shocked if these all work. Long lines like that, and they're all closed. Pfft, that's madness. Okay. Okay, then this one. I think we can probably do this. Sorry. Oh, well, that just makes no sense that would be a closed shape. And then I think we'll probably put some red into those beads, but that's a little tedious right now. So let's maybe do, I think I like the text for the, for the turtle body here. Whew, nice. This, no. Okay, that's what gave us a hard time before. So let's focus in a little bit here. Oops. Cool if the text lined up. Oh, it almost does too. That's crazy. Close enough. I will take it. Yeah, so the reason why like those, that's just filling all the spaces. There's a broken line in here somewhere. When I created the reference layer and I merged some of the line art, I duplicated the line art and merged it just so that in case I want to go back and adjust it, I have those raw separate layers. But I didn't bring in the hierarchy lines. I didn't think I needed them. But something's broken underneath those. That's just why that's not filling nicely. Well, why isn't it filling nicely now? That's closed, no? Fine then. Okie dokie. Fine, then we will just color it ourselves. Coloring is good for you. I don't want to speak too soon, but we're late enough in the stream that it's okay. But the Apple Pencil has held up tonight. There was definitely, so it wasn't working. Yesterday I was trying to draw some straight lines, kind of getting some coloring book lines sorted, and it was like glitching out, so it'd like do like a bunch of dots instead, and it took forever to undo. Did a few restarts, did a couple repairings, everything was all good, but yeah, it was like, now's not the time. So busy. Where did you find the texture? It's all in Latinose writings. It's C'est en français. It's the French version, some text. I got all of these from Scrapbook Papers. I purchased a package of papers for a different project that I do hope one day to get back to. And I bought them for... Sorry, I'm just contemplating my next move here. This one, I think. I bought them to use for that project, and then I did, I scanned them in to my computer and had them around, and then I started using them for the Behance Beauties that started at the very beginning of my Behance life. It does look very similar to Latin, yes, for sure, but I haven't read through all of these. I don't know what it's talking about. I'm pretty sure it's not offensive, though. I've been using them for 3 years and no one said anything. But I scanned them in, and then I can't remember what drew me to use them as a filler. I used it for the very first Behance project I ever submitted, and it was a ballerina. And I can't, like, I was trying to think the other day because I was going through a bunch of files, and I can't recall what drew me to actually put those on as my color. But I'm glad I did, because it makes all of this kind of cohesive, because all of the papers that you see are on the same, like, are from the same package. So by default, they're all kind of the same color family, which helps with that unity and stuff, because I'm not super confident in my color theory. So something would be a little bit more gray, something would be a little bit more light. It's like, it just wouldn't be what I would hope for. And this is kind of gets me really kicked off and started nicely. So I like using them as my base, and it makes all my stuff kind of look coherent. So I do have a few others that I want to get scanned in. I'm having some trouble. I think my scanner's a little out of date at this time. I think I've gone past where it will work with my newer tech. So I have to look into that and figure out what's going on there. But I want to scan in another set to see, like, if I can start a different style or something. But this one's really working for me. And the limited palette is interesting too, because, like, I have these sea creatures. There's gonna be no blue in this, so it'll be really interesting to see if it will still kind of come across as a clear illustration. So yeah, it's a fun experiment. But yeah, just scan them in at a high resolution. And then everything goes from there. But I'm glad I figured this out. Like, I wish I could remember. I should go back and, oh, they weren't even live streamed, so I can't even go back and see where that idea came from. Maybe I'll get lucky and I wrote it down somewhere. But just gonna have a very different way to fill the space. Oh, come on, you. In an interesting way, and then I can just do some very basic shading over top to bring it to life. And not have to worry about too many finer details. The line art and the patterns will get me most of the way, and then it's all in knowing where to properly apply the highlights and the shadows to make it look extra awesome. I'm just manually coloring this one in because I couldn't seem to find where the break was, and you guys don't want me to figure that out. It's nice though because it's the bottom layer, so I can just be a little bit wild with my strokes here and not worry about being too particular about it. You can see there's a little bit of a pixel halo. That's just because of where my tolerance is when I did my fill based on my reference layer. If you play with it too much, sometimes it won't read the lines properly. So it's something to finesse a little bit. I'm finding, like, I think with the ball gown, she was a lot smaller. So I went in and cleaned up those lines. But the past 3 that have been in an 18 by 24 size, those, you're not seeing them at all, especially once we start putting in the stained glass shading and all that kind of fun madness. Okay, let's see if we can get one more set of fills in here. So I find, like, once I put in the shading and I put in and these spaces are so big, like these dots aren't, so I may go in and clean these ones up if the white pixels continue to show up a little bit. But because it's so big, I don't find that white pixel halo really impacts the final result for me, because you're going to be so zoomed out, you're not going to be looking that closely. But also, we're going to be putting in a lot of shading and highlights in here. So you won't have to worry about, like, they'll get hidden naturally. If I find any don't get hidden naturally, they're really easy to just go in and paint them out of there. But if I change my color margin, it's the color margin that you saw on the left there for a second. But if you go too high, it won't read the lines properly, or it'll be like a really big white halo. So just something to play with depending on your line art and all that kind of fun stuff. But I think you can't even tell they're there right now, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. All right. So we did just get to color today, but because the reference layer actually worked, we got a lot more color done than I thought we were going to. This is a big illustration, but I'm really liking kind of the balance that we have here. Not certain. Oh, let me check and see first. Where's this? So this. I want to add some of the light. Let's see if these will work. There we go. I would have used the flower, which I can do, I guess. Let me just see. I want to use the flower pattern, but it's on the bottom. So I first have to hide the layer here so that I can reveal the layer here. Yeah, I like that better. Just to keep it lighter. And they're pretty similar right now, but I think once we get the highlights and everything in there, we'll really see what's going on. Okay, so the balance is looking pretty good. I'm trying to picture the shading and the highlights moving forward. I've got to contemplate this week how I want to do this, because if I break down like the turtle's fin and face with those kind of broken lines, it's going to compete with the shell, which I don't want. And like if I break down any of the fins on the lionfish, it's going to make it even more complex. So I think we're definitely going to be handling the sections a little differently on this guy, just to not distract from the features that are in these critters that I picked them for. So I'll run a few tests this week and see what we can come up with. But for right now, this is a really good start, I think. I'm really excited about it. Looking fantastic so far. Thank you, Odari. I appreciate that. I'm very excited to see it come together, because this one's definitely going to be a bit of a learning curve for me, because we're going to be handling it a little differently. Similar style, but there's going to be some differences in here. So I'm going to go do some research and do some testing. But in the meantime, thank you so much. Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you so much to everybody who joined in into the live and hung out with me for an hour. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're all having a great start to your week. Good luck with all your Spooktober, Inktobers, etc. The coloring books I have been mentioning are for sale on my site if you would like to take a look. I'd appreciate it, or tell your friends. They're a really great stocking stuffer. If you do have a problem with the site at all, definitely let me know. It's been pretty successful so far, but let me know. But yeah, I think that's it. I will leave you to your ramble-free evening. So I'm a little rambly today, guys. I hope you have a fabulous evening. Thank you for tuning in, and I will be back next week. We'll be hitting some highlights or some shadows. We'll get some detail into these guys. Have a great rest of your week, guys, and I'll see you next week.